Let me see this. We're calling it like it is. Hate crimes are rising in Michigan. Of course, they're always rising. Hate crimes, I don't know how it is. It's an amazing, astonishing thing. It's like there are fewer and fewer racists out there, but hate crimes are always on the rise. Always on the rise. Oh my God, hate crimes are rising. Hate crimes are rising. Oh, did you see? Whoosh, there goes another hate crime. Just went flying right by me. We had to actually have hoaxes for there to be an incident, a recorded incident of a hate crime, but they're rising.
Speaker recognizes Representative Arbit.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package?
Without objection, so ordered.
Madam Speaker.
Trust me, this guy's talking to the entire package on a frequent basis. Every opportunity he gets.
Hate violence is different from other kinds of violence.
How so?
Because it is terroristic in nature.
Why? What's terroristic? How do you define terroristic? What does that even mean? Unless you just mean it's hateful, which is what I think he means, which basically means hate crimes are hate crimes.
There is never just one victim of a hate crime.
Why not? Why not?
An entire community is victimized too.
How does that happen? How the heck does that happen?
Hate crimes tell all those who share a victim's identity, people like you aren't welcome. People like you don't belong. People like you aren't safe. That
just means they're mean.
That's why, amidst rising hate crimes in the state of Michigan, we're rising up too to fight it. Today is a day that I have dreamt about for so long.
Trust me, the last thing we want to hear is an exposition of your dreams, Noah.
Because today we can finally begin to say that we are transforming the state of Michigan from a national laggard to a national leader.
It's all about transforming for Noah.
On hate crimes prevention, intervention, and response.
They already
At a
are.
very fundamental level, enacting this legislation is why I am here.
Then you have a very poor reason for existing. You have a terrible, terrible reason for existence. You don't want to hitch your name to this star. Trust me. In the annals of history, this is not something that your parents your grandparents are rolling in their graves.
Taking on hate and extremism is one of the biggest reasons I decided to run for this office. It is what drew me into politics.
You are the humiliation that Generation Z is.
First place. On October 27th, 2018, I received a news alert on my iPhone. 11 Jews killed at a mass shooting at a synagogue in Pittsburgh, in what was the deadliest attack on the Jewish community in American history.
Oh, God, please don't be Jewish. Please don't be Jewish. Oh, please don't be Jewish. Please don't say, as a proud Jew. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please, God, please don't. Don't let him be Jewish.
In response, I founded the Michigan Democratic Jewish Caucus.
No! Oh, my God, no! Why? Why?
Helping to lead the fight against anti-Semitism, hate, and extremism in this state. Later, I served as Director of Communications at the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office, where I observed how difficult it can be to decide whether to issue charges under the Ethnic Intimidation Act.
You're in Michigan. It was in Pennsylvania. What the heck are you talking about? Was it a terrible hate crime? Yes. Should he be punished and as for committing a hate crime? Yes. What the heck does this have to do with idiots who think that they're born in the wrong body? It's like it's so degrading. Just stop it. Just stop it. You're an embarrassment. Your Bubby and Zadie are freaking out, like embarrassed by you. And if not, it's chaval on them. Oh my God, you gross display of hubris and arrogance and self-importance. It's so embarrassing. God, I apologize.
When I decided to run for the House, I promised the people of West Bloomfield, Commerce, and the Lakes that if they elected me, I would move heaven and earth to combat rising hate violence in the state of Michigan.
Sadly, I didn't see it.
I was told
coming
by members of the political class that making this my central campaign issue was dumb.
That's probably
because hate crimes were not a kitchen table issue, and that voters wouldn't care. I was told that
That is, no one told him this. Nobody told him that. That is an outright lie. This is another lying politician because no one has ever said that's not a kid. No one has ever said that's not something people care about. Certainly not someone who's running for the Democratic Party. What an idiotic, stupid claim. That is a flat out lie. You're you're lying no less than everyone who claims that they're born in the wrong body.
If I didn't change course, I would likely lose my primary. Well, Madam Speaker, I didn't lose. I knew my community, and I knew my own heart, too. I knew that as a proud Jew and a gay man, I will never sit idly by and watch as the communities I am
I started this off by saying that he's constantly addressing.
part of face rising hate violence. I knew that I will never sit idly by and watch any community in this state. The fact is, I am sick of walking past police cars and bomb-sniffing dogs outside my synagogue. I'm sick of checking for hiding spots at the gay bar should a gunman open fire. I'm sick of my Chaldean constituents being murdered at their places of business. I'm sick of reading headlines about mosques, churches, and gurdwaras being vandalized and desecrated.
Oh, listen to the outrage. Listen to the moral outrage that's pouring out of his voice. It's like slobbering out of him. If enough Jews sign the secret cabal paper, can he mystically be removed from the Jewish people? I don't want these folks. I blame Chabad. They tried bringing these folks back. I want you to know something. I deal with a personal moral dilemma. Because in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I don't want these people. I don't want them. I just don't want them associated with anything that has to do with anything associated with my life. And there is a concept of bringing Jews who have drifted from the faith and awakening them to the personal benefits of embracing the faith. I struggle with this one. I struggle with folks like this guy. I do. It's so revolting to me. Rabbi went overboard on his bris. He's feeling definite resentment, that's for sure.
I'm sick of my Black and Asian neighbors being forced to have the talk with their kids about neighborhoods and cities.
Stop with the talk. Stop with the talk. Oh my gosh. Every parent has the talk. You never had kids. That's why you don't know this. And your parents were stupid, terrible people. You have stupid, terrible, liberal, probably wealthy, undoubtedly wealthy, pampering you throughout your entire coddled existence. So that's why you never had the talk. But that's not a black thing. It's not a Latino thing. That's a lower class thing. That, hey, if you're not wealthy and the cops pull you over and you're not dressed like someone who's wearing some stupid $70 sweatshirt, but you're dressed like a typical middle to lower class teenager, you need to deal with the cops appropriately, no matter what your skin color is. Every one of us got the talk. I got the talk. I give my kids the talk. Hey, it's going to happen at some point. A cop is going to pull you over because you do something wrong when you're driving. This is how you handle the situation. Every responsible parent has it. The stupid lie that this schmuck is giving here. You know what? You never had to talk because you were coddled, wealthy, silver spoon in your mouth from the time until you mistakenly confused it with some parts of a body. Gross individual. I'm sick of them having to have the talk. My black friends having to have the talk. Shut up, idiot. You coddled. You want to know something? Your rich black friends didn't have to have the talk. It's a class thing, but you're pretending it's about race because you're an idiot you're a useful idiot who's been trained by leftist morons, self-absorbed, self-important. Oh, we're going to help run and control. Oh my gosh, look at me! I'm sounding like Sound like Pedro Gonzalez here.
Cannot go to, about how they have to navigate a world that is too often racist, where one wrong step could result in vicious, hate-filled.
One wrong step. I'm not going to sell this over dramatically. Hateful
Violence.
violence.
Michigan can be so much better.
This is what my moot court teacher told me is how I should express myself.
And it's about time that we were. In 1982,
Okay,
two auto
now
workers
I
who
get it.
blamed Japan for turmoil in Michigan's auto industry murdered Vincent Chin, a Chinese-American man, at a bar in Highland Park. Vincent Chin's brutal murder sparked a nationwide movement to enact state hate crime laws. In 1988, the legislature passed what is known as the Ethnic Intimidation Act, but it hasn't been amended even once since its passage, 7 years before I was even born. In the 35 years since, Michigan has seen an unabated rise in hate crimes with no corresponding legislative action to address it. Reported hate crimes and bias incidents have increased almost every single year in the past decade, while Michigan's legal...
This is another lie. It's another lie. The way they get that number to expand is because they changed what they call a hate crime. They had to change the terms because it was so hard to come up with hate crimes. They had to start redefining anytime someone failed to hold a door open for a minority as a hate crime. It used to be hate crimes were like, oh, you know what? This is a crime that's committed against someone because they are this race. Now it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you didn't tip your cap to the black woman. You obviously just committed a hate crime. Oh, wow! You walk past a homeless gay guy and you didn't drop a buck in his box. Oh, that's a hate crime. Idiots, rising hate crimes. You're so coddled, stupid, navel-gazing loser.
Architecture to address it remains stuck in 1988.
Seriously.
The result is Michigan racking up the 5th most hate crimes of any state in the country while maintaining one of the weakest, inadequate, and toothless hate crime laws of any state in the country. The fact that gay Michiganders, Michiganders with disabilities, and seniors are still unprotected from hate crimes under Michigan law is egregious and intolerable.
You're
the
intolerable.
Michigan Hate Crime Act, introduced alongside my colleague from the 82nd District, rectifies this wrong.
No, it
In
doesn't.
addition to strengthening penalties for the most severe hate crimes, my bill begins to position Michigan as a national leader in restorative justice for hate crimes. Madam Speaker, it is vital to understand that as my bill protects gay people, it also protects straight people. As it protects Jews, it protects Christians.
Oh,
As it
shut
protects black people, it protects white people. As it protects women, it protects men. This is intentional. Although racial, ethnic, religious, and sexual minority groups are far and away the most common targets of hate violence, no Michigander should ever feel unsafe or threatened because of who they are or the community they belong to. The second part of the package, the Institutional Desecration Act, introduced alongside my colleague from Canton, makes it a hate crime to deface, destroy, or vandalize houses of worship or other communal property. Hate crimes targeting faith-based institutions and other types of communal property have skyrocketed in Michigan over the past decade, as we saw in the Rochester...
I can't listen to this girl. Okay. I didn't realize I was going to be walking into 9 minutes of blithering idiocy. So I can't anymore. I just want to introduce you to this law. Intimidation and threats, either in words or actions, can be found guilty of a felony punishable by no more than 5 years in prison or a fine of no more than $10,000 with certain qualifying measures. Those include an act that results in bodily injury or when the culprit has prior hate crime convictions, for example. The bill passed the Michigan House 5950. Now goes on to the Michigan Senate, in which Democrats hold a slim majority. Arbit, the sponsor, said passage is something he's dreamt about for so long. As a proud Jew and a gay man, I'll never sit idly by and watch as a... Oh, just stop it. You're not a proud Jew. Critics of legislation say it violates the First Amendment by compelling speech and outlawing the expression of traditional scientific view of sex and gender, according to a Fox News report. Notice what they don't say here. What they don't say in this entire article here by CBS 12, what they leave out when they talk about $10,000 fine for gender identity harassment, let me see if they throw it in this article here, is that misgendering someone could could be deemed a hate crime under this bill. A bill to amend 1931 PA 3028, Section 1. A person is guilty of a hate crime if that person maliciously and intentionally does any of the following to an individual based in whole and part of the actual perceived characteristic of that individual listed under subsection 2, regardless of the existence of any other motivating factors. Uses force or violence on another individual, causes bodily injury to another individual, intimidates another individual, damages, destroys, or defaces any real, personal, digital, or online property of another individual without the consent of that individual, threatens by word or act to any of the actions described under A or D, which is they threaten force or violence or they threaten to destroy something. The actual or perceived characteristics of another individual referenced under subsection include all the following: race, religion, sex, orientation, gender identity or expression, physical and mental disability, age, ethnicity, national origin. If any of the following conditions apply, you have someone who's under 18 and the one who did it is 19 or older. Wow. That's it. If you're talking about someone who's 17 years old and you're over 18, you're facing $10,000 and up to 5 years in prison. But does it say misgendering alone would be enough expressly in this bill? No, not what I'm seeing so far. But I could definitely understand how an aggressive prosecutor who has an agenda and has an agenda to fill could say that that's a threatening thing to do, to misgender someone. Oh, they took out specific intent to intimidate or harass. That's a great catch, Allegan. That is a great catch. Meaning the removal of specific intent means if you're mean but you're not intending to intimidate, they crossed out that you need to have the intent. Not a fan of Noah. I'm not a fan of Noah. He's a bad person.